wondering if A5 is the right size for you? You know what, I don't have the answer, but what I do have is lots of experience with planners, and hopefully I can give you lots to think about to help you make up your mind. I'm Ellie, and I've used A5 ring and disc and bookbound planners. I'm mainly talking about ring planners in this video, but lots of the points are applicable to all types of A5 planners. I'm going to take you through a series of things to consider, but just a quick spoiler alert though, I don't think any of the problems I'll mention are deal breakers. Everything's got a workaround, and I'll give you some tips to help you with that. So the first thing to consider then with A5 planners has got to be the money, and you'll find that A5 planners normally are more expensive, and as well as that, anything to go inside them is normally more expensive too. So if that's a factor, definitely think about it and shop around. So it's not a deal breaker, and you can get some really good cheaper alternatives. So if you have a look at somewhere like Moterm, they have really nice quality planners for less than some of the major brands. And also, if you just want to try but you don't want to splash out on like a really nice quality leather planner, have a look at some places like Amazon. They've got some brands that aren't very well known at all, or some really cheap ones, really cost effective options. So definitely have a look at that. Also, it's worth a mention that you can get secondhand planners on Facebook planner groups and eBay. I've got some great bargains from those places, so it's well worth a look if you want to jump into A5. Depending on whether you like to take your planner out of the house or not, A5 may not be the most portable option for you, and as well as that, it also depends on the bag size that you like. So if you like using your planner in bed, if you like using your planner on the sofa, or if you like having your planner open on the desk next to you, A5 can be a little bit of a monster. So it's not always the most practical of sizes as far as that's concerned, but it's so useful. If you like to write loads in your planner, then A5 is wonderful. It is such a spacious, versatile planner size. But if you don't tend to write that much, have a think about whether it's possibly a bit of a waste of space for you, or have a think about whether you want to use some of the more compact designs. So you can get week on one page designs rather than the traditional week on two pages. And it may be that some sections that you may have had in other planners, you don't really need to move over to an A5 setup. So I'm thinking personally with a daily planner, sometimes I don't really use all that much space on them. So a pocket size for a daily planner is possibly a good idea. I would definitely recommend having your own hole punch for any planner size that you've got. And my best recommendation for a hole punch would be the Repesco adjustable one. But in theory, it works for all planner sizes, including A5, although in reality, punching A5 on these is a bit of a nightmare because you've got to punch the first set of rings, the first top three set of rings, turn the paper over, and then do the bottom set of three rings, which kind of doubles your chances to make a mistake. It's also not really that sturdy on the little page support thingy that you have at the bottom, so it's not great for that. It's much better if you're going to have A5 to get one of the A5 specific hole punches. So you may also find, especially if you're using printables, that A5 is brilliant for discs and rings. So that's just another tick in the books for an A5 planner. So A5 works really well with discs, and it tends to be the case that disc punches have A5 markings on them as well. So you can kind of have two different types of setups. So if you're using printables, then A5 is a brilliant size. Well, it is if you're an A4 rather than a US letter paper user, because A5 is literally half a sheet of A4. So if you've got A4 paper and you are hoping to use that, it is literally just one cut and then you've got your printables all sorted out, which is so easy. Another benefit of A5 planners is it's so simple to store larger sheets in there, and you definitely can't say that about cute little planners like pocket size and mini and possibly personal, actually, to be fair. But A5 planners are great if you've got paperwork that you like to store. And when I was a teacher, I loved having an A5 planner because whenever I'd come out of meetings with paperwork and handouts and all that kind of stuff, I'd just be able to store them in the planner where I needed to access them. So if you've got a big back pocket on your planner in particular, those are so handy, which means you can kind of keep all your paperwork in the same place, which is so practical. Another thing to consider with A5 planners is the ring sizes that you get. You tend to have the whole range of ring sizes with A5 planners. You get the really compact ones with smaller rings, all the way up to the massive ones. Like my A5 Norfolk has got 38mm rings, which is huge. But in comparison, my pocket size Malden has 90mm rings, which makes a real difference to the amount of stuff you can actually fit in there. So if you like to stuff your planner in particular, then those larger sizes might give you more of an option. And the last thing to consider then is just how easy it is. So A5 is a really common, really popular size. So chances are whatever shop you're going to for your planning supplies, they're going to have A5. And it's not really one that tends to be open to interpretation either, like B6, because that's different from one planner shop to another sometimes. And also because it's not one of those sizes that's been adapted by planners over the years, like Personal Wide or Pocket Plus, then it's just a standard size that doesn't get mislabeled. So I don't know if you've been in the situation before where you've ordered an A6 planner and actually you've got a personal size instead. That happens a lot. I've got a whole video on that one if you want to have a look. There's no confusion with A5. It's nice and simple, nice and popular, so easy to get. Hopefully I've given you something to think about today. And if I have helped at all, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you know anyone else who would love this video, please share it with them. Thank you. Bye bye.